Last night, my wife and I had a small argument. She wanted to attend a party that her friends had been planning for weeks, while I felt uncomfortable with the idea. I told her clearly that I didn't want her to go, not because I wanted to control her, but because I had a bad feeling about it. She brushed off my words, saying I was being overprotective. In the end, she dressed up and left without saying much more. I sat alone in the living room, staring at the clock as the hours ticked by. My mind was full of doubts, and I kept wondering what was so important at that party that she would ignore my feelings. I didn't text or call her, I just stayed silent, letting the weight of my disappointment hang in the air. By the time she returned, it was almost 2 a.m. She walked into the house casually, smelling of perfume and alcohol, her laughter still echoing from the car ride with her friends. I looked at her once but didn't say a single word. She noticed my silence, but instead of trying to explain, she went straight to bed. I didn't sleep that night. My thoughts kept spinning. I felt ignored, dismissed, and taken for granted. If she didn't care about my concerns, what did that say about our marriage? Still, I held my tongue, deciding not to argue. The morning came, and I expected her to wake up and continue acting as if nothing had happened. But to my surprise, she was up early, cooking breakfast. I sat at the table quietly, watching her move around the kitchen. She looked tired, almost guilty. When she finally sat down, she avoided eye contact. For the first time, I saw hesitation in her. She started speaking softly, saying she realized last night that she had been selfish. She admitted that while the party seemed important to her at the time, ignoring my feelings was wrong. Her voice cracked as she continued. She said she felt empty even while surrounded by her friends. The laughter, the music, and the fun didn't bring her joy because she knew deep down she had hurt me. That guilt followed her all night, and she couldn't ignore it anymore. I listened quietly, letting her speak. She apologized, not just for going to the party, but for making me feel like my voice didn't matter in our relationship. It was the first time in a long time that she had opened up with such honesty. I could see she meant every word. Still, I didn't forgive her right away. I told her actions would mean more than apologies. Respect in marriage wasn't just about love, it was about valuing each other's feelings even when we disagreed. She nodded, tears forming in her eyes. She promised to change, to think of us instead of only herself. For once, I felt she understood the depth of my silence from the night before. It wasn't anger, it was disappointment. That morning, as we ate together, the tension slowly lifted. It wasn't a perfect fix, but it was a step forward. My wife realized that trust and respect couldn't be ignored for the sake of temporary fun. In the days that followed, I noticed her effort. She started including me in her plans, asking my thoughts, and making sure we made decisions together. It wasn't about control, it was about balance and respect. Looking back, that night could have pulled us apart. Instead, it opened a door to better communication. My silence had spoken louder than anger ever could, and the next morning's surprise was seeing her finally understand what our marriage truly needed: mutual respect. That morning, instead of fighting, we finally spoke honestly. She admitted she was wrong to ignore my feelings and explained how empty the party felt without my support. Her apology was real, and for the first time, I felt she truly understood that marriage isn't about winning arguments, but about valuing each other's emotions. I accepted her apology, but reminded her that respect must always come first. She promised to be more considerate, and I promised to trust her more. In that moment, our silence turned into understanding, and the distance from last night faded. We chose reconciliation over bitterness, and it made our bond stronger than before.